Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yashodanandana Brachachanaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayarata Madhava Kunjabihari Jayarata Madhava Kunjabihari Jayarata Madhava Kunjabihari Jayarata Madhava Kunjabihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jai Radha Madhava ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pariraja Acharya Sattva Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Go Premanande, Glories to the Assembly Devotees, all glories to the Assembly Devotees, glories to the Assembly Devotees, glories to Shishi Guru and Guranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayudiraye. Nashta Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikir. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 24, Text 21. Tad bhaktanam atmavatam sarvesham atmana yatmata atmatayava. That's the text. Tat, that. Bhaktanam, of great devotees. Atmavatam, of self-realized persons like Sanaka and Sanatan. Sarvesham, of all. Atmani, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the soul. Atmade, who gives himself without hesitation. Atmataya, who is the Supreme Soul. Paramatma, Eva, indeed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as the Supersoul, sells himself to his devotees such as Narada Muni. In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. Great self-realized mystic yogis such as the four Kumaras also derive great transcendental bliss from realizing the Supersoul within themselves. And a short purport, just one sentence. The Lord became Bali Maharaj's storekeeper not because of his giving everything to the Lord, but because of his exalted position as a lover of the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namo Vistam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So again the text, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, as the Supersoul, sells himself to his devotees, such as Narada Muni. In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. Great self-realized mystic yogis such as the four Kumaras also derive great transcendental bliss from realizing the Supersoul within themselves. So this is a very beautiful text describing the relationship between the Lord and his devotees. There is Bhakta, there is Bhakti, there is Bhagavan. Right? The Bhagavan is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is the Bhakta, that's us, the devotees. I mean, we are trying to become devotees. We are the aspiring devotees. But there is the Bhakta, like personalities like Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes we use the word Bhakta, Bhakta, Joe, Bhakta. Bhaktin. And we think that means like a beginner, no? And then if you're initiated, you get a name. But actually, Bhakta means the devotee. We say Bhakta Prahlad, right? It's actually a title. It's like a very great position to be a Bhakta. So then we have the Lord, we have the Bhakta, and there is Bhakti. And Bhakti is that which is the relationship between Bhakta and Bhagavan. And Bhakti actually is not something cheap, it's not something ordinary, it's something also spiritual. Three of them are eternal, Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagavan, eternal. And Bhakti also is actually it's a manifestation of the Sarup Shakti of Krishna, it's a spiritual energy. And it's also from the spiritual world. And here we have this description of the relationship between the two, Bhakta and Bhagavan. Especially in the material world, the Lord is present as the super soul. And he is situated in everyone's heart. And Krishna is always looking for us, turning our faces towards him. And if a soul actually turns to Krishna, Krishna is very pleased. And then Krishna becomes bound by that love that the devotee shows. Now, Prabhupada explains that Bali Maharaj, the Lord didn't become the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj because he gave everything, but because he was a lover. He was a lover. And of course, when we look at the pastime, Bali Maharaj's pastime, it's a very beautiful narration. And we know the situation when Vamana, the dwarf incarnation of the Lord, entered this assembly. Everyone was quite amazed by his effulgence, by his, it's the Lord. And Bali immediately felt, wow, I want to give a charity to that Brahmana. And of course, this was also a bit Bali's pride, right? Bali actually was a grandson of Prahlad. So although he was born in the dynasty of the demons, actually he was a devotee by his nature. And when he saw the Lord, he wanted to give in charity. And that was also his pride, that he has so much wealth, he can just give to everyone without limitation. So that was his pride. And of course the Lord came to crush that pride. And the Lord asked, I only need 3 steps of land. And Bali felt, well, that's not, But then Shukracharya, who was the guru, Shukracharya is the guru of the demons, and he felt, no, don't give, because actually this is Vishnu in disguise, he comes to cheat you, he will take away everything. And then Bali said, well, I already promised, I already said I will give. And then Shukracharya said, yeah, there are certain circumstances you can lie, it's not a big issue if you lie. What are these circumstances? Joking, in marriage ceremony, in earning one's livelihood. Das ist die Antwort geben. Ja. When one's in his life danger, protecting cow and Brahminical culture, or in protecting a person from an enemy's hand. So falsity is never condemned. Shukracharya, he's kind of saying that. There are some circumstances. And okay, you promise to give, but actually you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your family. Basically what he's saying, you have to protect me also, because I'm depending on your wealth. So don't give. But Bali Maharaj, he felt, how can I break my promise? How can I withdraw my promise because of greed for money when I have already said that I shall give this land? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially toward the Brahmana? And he says, there is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness. And then Bali quotes Mother Earth. Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except a person who is a liar. Which is interesting. Mother Earth carries the whole, everyone, like there is mountains, there's so many buildings, so many people, and Mother Earth carry all of them. So she can do that, that's not a problem, but she cannot bear a liar. Munindra Gana spoke about truthfulness the other day. So a liar cannot be tolerated. So, and Bali says, I do not fear hell, poverty, an ocean of distress, fall down from my position, or even death itself, as much as I fear cheating a brahmana. No, okay, maybe I have to go to hell, maybe I fall down, maybe I fall in an ocean of distress. That's all okay, I can deal with that. But I'm afraid to cheat the brahmana. There's a similar statement in the Bhagavatam. I think it's Indra who's saying, no. Someone is saying that I'm not afraid of the trident of Lord Shiva, and of Yamaraj, the personality of death, but I'm afraid to offend the Vaishnava. So that's the mood. And so, therefore, Bali felt, I have to give. I gave a promise, I have to give. So, some of the reasons why Bali, because it was a difficult situation, he had to disobey the order of his guru, right? Shukracharya was his guru, and guru says, no, don't give. So he has to disobey, he has to reject the guru, which is, usually we say, you cannot reject the guru, no, it's not. But in this situation, he rejected. Why? Because the guru was not in line with devotional service. No? The guru should say, surrender to Krishna, and here the guru says, don't surrender to Krishna. Like, what kind of guru? So that's why he had to reject. So he was the grandson of Prahlad. He said, I cannot lie. He was afraid of offending a brahmana. And he also felt everything is temporary. I will anyway lose. My whole wealth, my kingdom, all my possession I have, it's temporary. In some years I will be old, I will die, and I'll lose it. So why not give it now? And also history gives many examples which we have to follow. And one example is Dadichi Muni. Do you remember the story of Dadichi Muni? Yeah, the Devas were in trouble because there was Vritrasura, great demon, and they got an advice from Vishnu. Well, you need to create a thunderbolt, a special weapon, and that weapon needs to be constructed out of the bones of a yogi, a mystic, and this is Dadichi. So you go to him and ask for a boon. What is the boon? I want to have your bones. And he gave. No, he gave up his life, and then the Devas, they used his bones to create this weapon. And this is an example of complete selflessness for the good of others, giving up one's own interest for the good of others. So Bali felt, I have to follow in the examples. And also Bali felt, I cannot lose fame. It says fame is reputation is the most important. I can lose money, position, I can lose my health or so, but I cannot lose my reputation. And this is a rare opportunity. I can give a charity to a brahmana. And like that. So there are different reasons why he decided to give everything. And of course, we know, so he agreed, okay, take 3 steps. And with the first step, all of a sudden the small Vamana became a huge, very big. And with the first step, Vamana covered the whole earth. And with the second, he covered the whole universe. And then Vamana chastised Bali. No, you promised 3 steps, but you only gave me 2. So what to do? No, the Lord already covered everything. And what did Bali say? Put the 3rd step on my head. And you could say, well, that doesn't make sense, because the 2nd step was all of the whole universe, and the head is only a small place. But it says that the owner is more than the property. The owner is bigger than the property. Like, okay, someone possesses, but the person who actually is the owner, he's more valuable than what he possesses. That's why I give myself. And then, of course, Atmanivedana. Bali gave himself to Vamana. Now, this is a beautiful story, but Srila Prabhupada says, and then of course we know first Bali was bound up and put down to the lower planetary system, and it seems to be like a punishment. But then actually, finally, Bali got his own place, and Vamana decided to become the doorkeeper. Basically became the servant of Bali to protect him there. And so, but Prabhupada says Bali, the Lord became Bali Maharaj's storekeeper not because of his giving everything to the Lord, but because of his exalted position as a lover of the Lord. So basically, of course, we glorify Bali because he gave everything, Atma Nivedana. This is one of the 9 processes of devotional service, to fully surrender, and Bali is the perfect example of that. But here it says that actually the main thing is because he was a lover, because he had bhakti. Because at the end of the day, Krishna is interested in bhakti. And we know Krishna is also known as Bhava, Grahi, Janardana. That means Bhava is the inner emotional state, and Grahi, Krishna is the one who accepts that emotional state. So basically Krishna is known as the person who sees our heart, sees our emotion, and he accepts the innermost of our motivation. Like we all perform service and do different activities, trying to please Krishna. And because Krishna is in the heart as super soul, he exactly knows what's going on, and he accepts the essence of our mood, our bhava. Which actually is very beautiful, because, in front of the Lord, we can't hide, or we don't have to pretend or so. Krishna really knows. If someone knows our heart, then it's Krishna. Even we ourselves sometimes, we are not so clear about. There is this tendency to cheat, so we have this tendency to cheat others, to cheat ourselves, and sometimes we are not so honest about where we stand, our position. Of course, that's why introspection is important. The path of self-realization means to know Krishna, but also to know ourselves, to introspect and to understand. Okay, where do I stand? Where are my shortcomings? How can I improve? Where are my weaknesses, my anarthas? But Krishna knows exactly. Of course, the problem is Maya also knows exactly. That's the problem. And Maya, she's attacking exactly when there is a weak point. Maya immediately, she knows. But of course, as long as we turn to Krishna, we are protected. When we forget about Krishna, then Maya is ready to kick in. But Krishna is there, and he knows the essence of our heart. And that's why Krishna knew Bali, actually, he was a devotee. He actually had love for Krishna. And Krishna accepted that love. And so this relationship between the Lord and his devotee, very beautifully described by Srila Prabhupada in a purport. There is text, Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9:29, where Krishna says, I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend in me, and I'm also a friend to him. So it's an interesting text, because Krishna in one side says, I'm equal to everyone. I don't envy, I don't hate, I'm not partial, I'm completely equal to everyone. But then, if someone is a devotee, then he's very dear to me. So it seems to be like a contradiction, right? On one hand, Krishna says he's completely equal, but then he also favors his devotee. And Srila Vishnavacharya Thakur says that actually the first part of the shloka is Krishna speaking as Paramatma, and the second part, Krishna speaking as Krishna, as the Supreme Lord. As Paramatma, Krishna is equal to everyone, neutral, but as Krishna, as Shyama Sundar, actually Krishna is interested in a loving relationship with his devotees. So, yes, it says that Paramatma is neutral, but as soon as we turn towards Krishna and develop some love, then Krishna is not, or Paramatma is not neutral anymore. But then Krishna actually starts to act from within. Maybe we can open the window a little bit to get some fresh air. So Srila Prabhupada explains this relationship between Krishna and his devotee in a very beautiful way. Ja, it's a little tricky. You have to am Rahmen, du musst am Rahmen ziehen, nicht am Hebel. Rahmen und dann ziehen. Ja. Yeah. You can open fully. Please open fully. Yeah, just get some. I mean, it's not for me. I'm awake. Okay, so Prabhupada says, when a diamond is set in a golden ring, it looks very nice. If you have a golden ring, and in the ring, on the ring, there is a diamond, right? So that looks very nice. The gold is glorified, and at the same time, the diamond is glorified. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter, and when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, he looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. It's a nice example. No? So there's a gold ring and there's a diamond. And Krishna is a diamond, and the devotee is like the gold ring. And together, it's a very nice combination. Living entity in a pure state are called devotees. The Supreme Lord becomes the devotee of his devotees. If a reciprocal relationship is not present between the devotee and the Lord, then there is no personalist philosophy, Prabhupada says. That's the whole point. Bhakti means that means love, and love means there is two persons. There is a relationship between two. So there is Bhakta and there is Bhagavan, and they have a relationship with Bhakti, and that's the beauty. And Prabhupada gives this nice example of the gold ring with a diamond. The only problem is that we have forgotten that beautiful relationship. We could be a gold ring together with Krishna as a diamond, but we have forgotten that relationship. And as it's stated here, Krishna is the super soul in the heart, and actually Krishna is very eager for us to again turn towards him. And we have recited this many times, but I will do it again. That is the famous shloka, Shrinvata Sukata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridanto Stoyabadrani Vidunoti Suritsudam. That if one has developed an urge to hear the message of the Lord, then the Lord from within the heart, will purify the heart of that devotee. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes this point. The Lord is reciprocal respondent to his devotee. When he sees that the devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. So as Paramatma, as a super soul from within, Krishna will help us. He wants to help us from within. And the Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Krishna helps in all respects. It's a very, very interesting statement, no? First of all, Krishna is more eager. We can never desire. I mean, we may develop a desire, I want to go back, I want to go. But the desire that Krishna has is always greater. So Krishna is very eager to take us back. He has so much love for us, and he wants to have us back and have a relationship with us. I mean, that in itself is quite amazing, isn't it? That there is someone, I mean, not only someone, but there is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the most wonderful, the most powerful personality, the most wonderful personality, and that personality wants a relationship with you. And he's very eager, he can't wait. I mean, that is amazing, no? This is very nice meditation. Sometimes we feel a bit I'm lonely, nobody loves me, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. Sometimes we have this kind of thoughts in our heart. But there is there is the Supreme Personality who wants a relationship with us. I mean, if this should not give us some encouragement, some inspiration. So that's one point that Krishna Prabhupada makes in this statement here. And then the other one is that most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada says, most of us do not desire at all. It's kind of interesting. Wait a minute. I'm a devotee. Why am I chanting Hare Krishna? I want to go back to Godhead. But Prabhupada says most of us don't want to go at all. What does it indicate? That we still have so many desires, other desires. No? If we examine our hearts, actually, those desires who are very strong, they are pulling us in a different direction. Yes, we have some understanding, theoretically, that I should become a devotee, I should go back to Krishna. But the prominent desires, they are still pulling in a different direction. That's what Prabhupada is saying. And it's like in the Puranas, there is one statement, if you want to reach an object in the east, but you run to the west, can you get it? No. So similarly, if you still maintain material desires, can you be absorbed in Krishna consciousness? No. So we have to let go, give up, and focus on Krishna. So that's another point. And then, but then the encouraging part is that that Prabhupada says it. But if for those, the only very few men who want to go back to God, and hopefully we become some of these few men and women who want to go back. And if we have a desire to go back, then Krishna helps in all respects. Krishna will help. From within and from without, in many ways, Krishna will help. In the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it is also written by Sanatana Goswami. We have this beautiful story and we have the pictures there. You all know this picture shows Gopa Kumara coming back to the spiritual world. Krishna is waiting for him and Krishna is embracing him. It's actually a very deep picture. And there also Krishna says that, Gop Kumar, where have you been? Or he says Swarupa, that's the name of the spiritual identity. Where have you been? I have been waiting for you. And each life I have always observed, I always hoped, okay, maybe in this life he will turn to me. Maybe now he will turn to me. I was waiting and waiting, but it took so long. But Krishna is very happy finally. He came back. Krishna is eager for a relationship with us. And of course, that's why devotional service is meant to awaken our love so that we can again be in that relationship with the Lord. And if you want to close, you can close. I mean, I'm fine, but yeah. And the amazing thing, one of the characteristics of bhakti is that Krishna Akarshani, that bhakti is so powerful that it will attract even Krishna. Like if someone is developing bhakti in the heart, then that bhakti is even more powerful than Krishna, because Krishna becomes bound by that love. Krishna becomes attracted by that love. And that's what today's shloka now says, that Krishna, what was the text? Atma De, who gives himself without hesitation. Now, Krishna personally gives himself to his devotee. He sells himself to his devotee. Like Advaita Acharya, he saw the situation in Kali Yuga and in Navadvip. Although Navadvip was known as a very a place of scholars and many practiced spiritual life, but people were very materialistic. Nobody really had devotion. Nobody really had bhakti. And Advaita became very disturbed, and he felt the Lord should personally come and again establish bhakti. Of course, he himself is the Lord, but he plays the role of a devotee and he calls Krishna, Chaitanya. And then he reads in one of the Puranas this famous shloka that Krishna says, if someone simply worships me with a little Ganges water and a tulsi leaf, I'm purchased. That person can purchase me. He can bind me up with his love. If someone worships with tulsi water and tulsi leaf and water. And then Advaita, okay, that's it. This is what I will do. And then he sat down every morning and he worshipped his Shalagram Shila and crying for the Lord, please, you should come, please appear. And by that worship, the Lord came. So that's how Krishna becomes bound up by the bhakti of a devotee. And that's the principle of bhakti, that it has the power to attract even Krishna. So, and Srila Prabhupada describes this also very beautiful in the Nectar of Devotion, that it says, Krishna attracts everyone, but devotional service attracts Krishna. The word Krishna means all attractive. Krishna means Krishna is so attractive that everyone becomes attracted to him. Like that's one of the main definitions of Bhagavan, right? Bhagavan means that one who possesses the 6 opulences. What are the 6 opulences? Wealth, beauty, strength, renunciation, power, or room, power, and knowledge. Yeah, these 6. So, and it's interesting, even in this world, if someone has beauty, then people feel very attracted to that person. Someone has money, people are very attracted to the person. Someone has power, people feel attracted. But usually in this world, if someone is very beautiful, it doesn't mean that he's very intelligent. Or someone is very powerful, doesn't mean that he's very detached. So it's hard to find a person who has all of these qualities. And even if you would find a person, then he would only have a limited amount, Someone is very rich, I don't know, Elon Musk is the most rich person. But he doesn't possess all the wealth. He possesses most, but not all. There's still many others who also have a lot. But Krishna is that personality who possesses all 6 opulences in an unlimited form. And that makes him Bhagavan, that makes him God. Once I gave this explanation in an interfaith dialogue, there was a podium discussion, and then there was a Muslim next to me. He said, what a beautiful description of God. This is Allah. This is Allah. He was very enthusiastic about it. Yes, that's Allah. I said, yes, you understood. That's Allah. That's God. There's only one God, because only one person can have all these 6 opulences. But yeah, one, he's beautiful, and because Krishna has all these qualities, he's so attractive. Nobody can, everyone is attracted to Krishna because he's such an amazing personality. But that Krishna, that attractive Krishna becomes attracted by devotion. The symbol of devotional service in the highest degree is Srimati Radharani. Krishna is called Madana Mohan, which means that he's so attractive that he can defeat the attraction of 1,000 of cupids. Madana, Mohana. So who is Madana? Madana is the Cupid, the god of love, or Kamadev, like that. No? And in this world, the whole material world is moving because of attraction between opposite sex. That sex impulse and also attraction, that is the moving force in the whole material world. And Madana, Cupid, he's shooting the arrows and making the conditioned souls attracted to each other. So everyone is under the spell of that attraction. But Krishna is Madana Mohana. That means Krishna is the one who is able to attract even thousands of such cupids. No, Krishna is much, much more attractive. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shishiko Nitai Ki Jai. But Radharani is still more attractive, for she can even attract Krishna. So that Krishna who attracts thousands of cupids, he's attracted by Radharani. That's why Radharani is most attractive. Therefore, devotees call her Madana, Mohana, Mohini, the attractor of Cupid. That's Srimati Radharani. So to perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani, and devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. In Vrindavan, everyone takes shelter of Radharani. No? Radhe Radhe, they say. Of course, Srila Prabhupada teaches us, we say Hare Krishna. That's one way, if you want to know if devotees are, usually in practicing within ISKCON, they usually say Hare Krishna. And sometimes devotees outside who are practicing outside of ISKCON, they say Radhe Radhe. Prabhupada was very particular about this. He said that, Radhe Radhe is a very, even Shukadev Goswami didn't mention the name Radhe. Radhe is a very, confidential, and that's why we say Hare Krishna. Of course, the Brijbasis, they're born there, and they grow up and they love Radharani, and so they say Radhe Radhe. Even the rickshawala, if there is no bell, and then people are there in the way, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe, which means go out of the way, no? They say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Like that. Anyhow, but the point is that everyone takes shelter of Srimati Radharani because, she is the embodiment of that devotion, of that bhakti. In other words, devotional service is not an activity of the material world. It is directly under the control of Radharani. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the Mahatmas, or great souls, are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, the internal energy, Radharani. So being directly under the control of the internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself. So the same point as I mentioned in the beginning, bhakti is not something material, it is actually coming from the spiritual world. Bhakti is Krishna's Swarup Shakti. That's why the devotees take shelter of Krishna and they get protection from Daivi Prakriti, internal energy, and then from that internal energy they are guided. And then they act. And this is how Prabhupada often explains what is a pure devotee. A pure devotee is, he's directly guided from within, from this internal energy. Tesham evanukam partam aham agyanam tamaha nashyami atmabhavasto jnana dipena bhashvataha. Krishna says that actually, he dwelling in their hearts, I destroy with a shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So from within, Krishna actually guides the devotee, those who have taken shelter of him. So the devotees are completely aligned with Krishna's desire because they just act the way Krishna wants. So these are the devotees of the Lord. And that's why they become very, very dear to Krishna. Anyway, time is there, but in the famous pastime with Ambarish and Dhruva Maharaj, Durvasa Muni. Dhruva Maharaj, Durvasa Muni. You know that story, right? Durvasa is this mystic yogi, and he came visiting the king Ambarish, and Ambarish, of course, wanted to welcome the sage and offer him some food. And the sage, okay, I will accept food. I will just go and take a bath. I'm coming back in a moment. And then Ambarish was in a dilemma because he had fasted and it was time for breaking of the fast. But there is also the etiquette that you don't take food before the guest. So actually he should have waited, give food to the prasad to the rishi, and only then take. That would have been proper. But because he had to break the fast, he didn't know what to do. And the ministers, the sages said, you can just take a drop of water and that will break your fast, and it's not eating, so in this way it's kind of balanced. But when Durvasa Muni came back, by his mystic power, he could see that he drank some water. So he took before him, became very angry, pulled out a hair of his head, throw it on the ground, and a demon manifested, and the demon was ready to kill the king.
Ambarish.
Yeah, Ambarish, yeah. So, and then of course Krishna, seeing his dear devotee in danger, sent immediately Sudarshan Chakra, and Sudarshan Chakra finished the demon and chased behind Durvasa Muni. And we know Durvasa Muni tried to save himself from the Sudarshan Chakra, taking shelter of Brahma and Shiva, and finally he reaches Vaikuntha and taking shelter of Vishnu. But then Vishnu says, "What can I do? I can't help you." And he says, "Don't you have a heart?" "No, my heart is with my devotee." And he makes this point: Sadavo hridayam mayam sadunam hridayam tvaham mat anyat tena jananti naham tebhyo manak api. That the pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anything else but them. That's the loving relationship between the devotee and the Lord. So it's very, very close, very, very intimate. And yeah, basically the Lord says, you offended my devotee, so that's why I cannot help you. You have to go back and ask forgiveness directly from Ambarish, and only if he forgives, I will forgive. And then I will take away the Sudarshan Chakra. Otherwise, this chakra will chop off your head, you will be finished. So then, of course, we know Durvasa goes back and he asks shelter and asks for forgiveness. Right? But this shows how dear the devotees are to the Lord and how that they have such a loving relationship. Okay, time is almost up. So what should we do now? We should also become such dear devotees, right? Haribol. And how can we become such dear devotees? That's the relevant question.
I was thinking about the vow of Ambarish Maharaj. Do you know if this vow was a kind of particular vow or a Kaddish?
Not sure.
If it was a particular vow, yes, it still have total sense. But if it was a Kaddish, why Ambarish Durvasa Muni not follow Kaddish?
Of course, we understand Durvasa Muni, he's like a mystic yogi, and Ambarish was a Bhakta devotee. So.
I think the Kaddish is universal for all the Vedic principles.
Yeah.
But this is my speculation.
Yeah. Anyhow, so that's an interesting detail for the pastime. But my question was so what should we do now? We hear about this loving relationship between Krishna and his devotees, and we understand, okay, Ambarish Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, the Pandavas, the Gopis, okay, Srila Prabhupada, maybe our spiritual masters, if they're very closely following Prabhupada. But then what about us? How can we become such pure devotees? Yes? Atmani Vedana. Yes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. We have this 9 process of devotional service, and finally Atmani Vedana, giving up, fully surrendering to the Lord. The path of Sharanagati, completely giving ourselves to the Lord. That's the process. And of course, the whole process of devotional service is meant to awaken that love in our own hearts. And we know Shravanam, Kirtanam is like the watering of the Bhakti Lata. So we have to hear, we have to chant the holy name, Yuga Dharma. The holy name can give us that love. And we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, that love can be awakened. Because how can you love a person you don't know? Right? Our goal is to love Krishna. But if you don't know anything about Krishna, how can you fall in love with him? So that's why we have to hear Bhagavatam, we have to hear about Krishna. And then when we realize how beautiful Krishna is, then we start to develop some attachment. Otherwise, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And we can do it for many years, and we can do a lot of service. But if you don't know who that person is, so that's why hearing is so important. We have to know about Krishna. But at the end of the day, we need kripa. We need the mercy, right? Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Diyapada Chaya Shodoe Amaya Tomara Charana Dori. O Venerable Vaishnava, O Ocean of Mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold onto your lotus feet. And then there is this expression of teach me how to control the 6 passions, which are the 6 obstacles on devotion. Then please give me the strength to develop the 6 qualities. And then at the end, it says here, Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakati ache. Amito kangala, Krishna Krishna boli, dahitava pache pache. Krishna is yours, Krishna se tomara. Why is Krishna yours? Because the pure devotee has bound up Krishna in his heart. Now it says that Krishna resides in the heart of his devotee. Very peacefully rests. Krishna rests in the heart of these devotees because he was bound up by the love. So the pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada, and the pure devotees, they have bound up Krishna by their love. That's why they have Krishna under their control. And that's why they have the power to give Krishna. No? Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. And that's the role of the Vaishnava. That's the role of the Guru. Because he has Krishna, he can give Krishna. And of course that shows the responsibility of being a Guru. You can only give what you have. If you have love, you can give. If you don't have love, what can you give? So we should accept the spiritual master, one who has love for Krishna, and then he can give love. So Krishna is yours, you have the power to give him to me. And that's why Krishna Krishna Boli, Amito Kangala Krishna Krishna Boli. I'm simply running behind you shouting, Krishna, Krishna. I'm running behind you, Krishna, Krishna, please give me Krishna. So that's our position. We have to surrender unto the pure devotee, those who already have love for Krishna. And then by their mercy, we may also develop love for Krishna. And then we can become like the gold ring, holding the jewel of Krishna, how Prabhupada describes it. So in Bali, such a fortunate soul, as we describe in today's shloka, that the Lord is in the heart of everyone, and he sells himself to his devotees. In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We have 2 minutes left. Not even. Yes. Questions, comments? Yes. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to ask something a little bit different, but it's you mentioned some part of my question. You mentioned this point with Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And I would like to ask because often congregation use or some devotees are using this Hari Bol to greet somebody, or sometimes we don't even greet each other or whatever. This is also a different topic. What is the etiquette of greeting each other and who should greet or whatever? That's my question. Would this Hari Bol? I'm not sure, but I think once I heard from Shiva and so it is not so important, but I'm not so sure.
What is not qualified?
Yeah, my Guru says like Hare Krishna, Prabhupada never said Hare Krishna.
Yeah. And actually, and in some sense, we know the meaning Hari Bol, seeing the meaning of Hari, but it's in some sense is often used also by junior devotees.
Right.
Senior devotees, and this is not so appropriate actually because it's an instruction to chant Hari.
Yes.
My Guru tells to me Hari Bol. It was okay, nice. I remember
Yeah. Haribol, Gurudev, Haribol, Gurudev. Hey, sing the name of Krishna, Gurudev. Because you have forgotten Krishna anyway, so I'm here to remind you. Haribol, sing the name of Krishna. Yeah, it becomes a bit awkward. Yeah, I mean, I heard the same thing that, yes, it has become like a custom. We say Haribol, and so it's a way to greet. I would say there is no harm in the sense of between equals and friends. We say Haribol, okay, Haribol. But yeah, it's good if you remember what it means. It's you encourage each other to chant the name, which is nice. But if you then approach a senior, then maybe not say Haribol, but say Hare Krishna, because there's a meaning behind. Yeah, so that's there. Yeah. But more than that, do you like to add something on this? No.
It's something else about
Okay.
this, that the earth cannot bear the liar. I heard that it cannot bear ungrateful, and it's because that so the earth can bear everyone. The earth can provide for everyone's needs, but not everyone's desires. If someone is ungrateful, then they desire more than.
Okay, that's also very beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, the earth. We said the earth. Bali Maharaj said the earth cannot bear or tolerate liars, but then another point is that the earth cannot tolerate those who are ungrateful. Yeah, because ungratefulness means, you're greedy, you're not satisfied, and then it becomes difficult to provide for everyone. Yeah, I think it's like Mahatma Gandhi has this statement that the earth can provide for everyone, but not for the greed of everyone. There's some statement like that also.
And it's always very nice to hear how much Krishna actually loves us. It's really encouraging, as you said. And my Guru Maharaj has this book of Sadhguru.
Yeah, right. There is this whole little book about this couple of shlokas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it always speaks about how much Krishna is explaining to the WrestleMania, why he's favoring his devotees.
Yeah.
Whole book about this.
Yeah.
It's encouraging.
Yeah, this is such a beautiful meditation. That the fact to know that Krishna is actually waiting for us and he's eager to have a relationship. It's like, wow, with me? Really? Wow. And of course we have to do some little purification before we're ready to enter that relationship. In Krishna sees the essence, he sees our soul, he sees our core, and Krishna will help to remove whatever is an obstacle. All right. Yes.
Did I understand correctly now? So in the Rasa Muni went to Vishnu cited that verse, that of the earth, not...
No, that now we mix up two stories. The shloka with the earth was cited in the beginning of the class when we spoke about Bali. Bali Maharaj says, how can I cannot cheat the Brahmana. I cannot lie. Because Mother Earth can bear many things, but she cannot bear a liar. So how can I cheat? So that belongs to Bali's story. Yeah.
I actually once Googled about the Haribol.
Sorry?
The database, Google Haribol.
Oh yeah?
I think Prabhupada used it once in a conversation. A Bengali left the room. He said Haribol. That's it.
Wow, once.
You only find Then there's a footage of there's a footage of Australia and Madhuvisa doing kirtan, and he finishes it off like Haribol.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
And Prabhupada's just sitting there. He doesn't intervene, say anything. So he didn't possibly encourage it, but at the same time he accepted that when his disciples took it up from the Bengalis, he let it just go.
Yeah. Haribol. Yeah, and of course, it is Prishpasi saying Radhe Radhe, I think we have to be careful. We should not be judgmental, if those devotees who have that bhav to say Radhe Radhe, of course that's their bhav and we respect it. I mean, they're very exalted devotees. But the reason why then we don't do it is because Prabhupada instructed us, and then we feel some loyalty, we feel some love for Prabhupada, and that's why we adopt that mood in our heart and we say Hare Krishna. But it's not that we have to judge others if they do it, right? It's there. But, And of course, sometimes it goes to the other extreme. I remember when the GBC made this decision that we should not sing Radhe Radhe like only on, like in Kirtan. When there is Radhastami festival, we are allowed to sing Radhe Radhe a few times, but otherwise we should not sing Radhe Radhe in Kirtan. And I remember there was such, on social media, people that were freaking out, why is the GBC making such restrictive decisions, I mean, after all, Radharani, we are meant to love Radharani, we're meant to follow in the footsteps. She's a personification of Bhakti. Why can't we glorify her, Yeah, it's because it's misused. It can become a cheap thing. It can be misused. But what I want to say, the other extreme is that sometimes in ISKCON we have a bit a phobia. We are afraid of the gopis, to speak about the gopis. We are afraid to speak about Radharani. We are afraid to speak about Radha Krishna pastimes. We become afraid to even mention these things. So that can be the other extreme. One extreme is you become a Sahajiya, and you very cheaply discuss all the Radha Krishna pastimes. Premature, that's one extreme. But personally, I feel another extreme, which sometimes we can see in ISKCON, is that we become phobic. We are afraid to even speak about the gopis. Although Prabhupada gave Krishna book, Prabhupada gave the Bhagavatam, everything is there. So we also need to hear about that. So, of course, Shivaram Raj is one of the stalwart devotees who brings in a balance by writing all his books. So we can get that aspect. All right, thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Das Glas ist irgendwie, was nicht auf einem...
Srimad Bhagavatam?
Ja, aber es ist irgendwie auf einem Gomfi drauf gestanden oder so. Jetzt ist der Gomfi auf einem Totti. Ja, schau, irgendetwas ist da drunter. Meine Haribol, Grüß Gott, oder? Sag. Grüß Gott ist eigentlich ähnlich, oder? Grüß Gott.
Deutsche Haribol.
Grüß Gott.
Was heißt Servus? Was bedeutet das?
Servus. Hallo.
Aber es muss woher kommen, Servus.
Wo der Ursprung hat, wie das. Eigentlich hat das ja keine, also man kann es jetzt nicht übersetzen.
Vielleicht gibt es hier noch eine Wortwurzel, wie das ChatGPT weiß es.
ChatGPT weiß bestimmt. Grüezi ist ja gegrüßt dich, ne?
Ja.
Dich, Grüezi, grüß dich.
Grüß dich, grüß dich.
Können wir das nachvollziehen?
Nur ich und Marsch. So verlaut.
Das ist schon so schön.
Nee, vorher. Echt? Natürlich vorher. Und dann sind wir dann im Wald spazieren gegangen.
Ah, hier? Ah, echt?
Ja, natürlich. Jetzt heutzutage kannst du dir nicht vorstellen, man ist immer noch umkreist, dann Dutzend so hier. Und dann sind wir so ein paar Jogging-Leute im Wald. What is the way to greet people in Switzerland? Grüezi. Then March, next question. Grüezi. Grüezi. And he said, if we say Hare Krishna, then they feel like alienated. They don't know what to sing about. But if you say Grüezi, then they feel they're nice. They're feel nice people, and by appreciating the devotees, they experience nice people. That was Mar's logic. It's interesting, you could say, well, we have to say the name of Krishna, and it's powerful.
I also don't like this.
morning walks in Murwillumbah in Australia, you know, everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The joggers like, you know, they can't relate.
It's even more upset for them